it's Miss Crafty Chick here with you. Yeah, I know you probably forgot what my name was because it's been so long since I've been here. But I'm about to get to why. I've been kind of doing a couple things. One big thing that happened in between the last time that we saw each other and you know, now is that I participated in a sewing competition. And I figure, you know, I'm learning. I've been sewing about 3 years now. Seriously, and so I feel like this was a good time to kind of see, you know, what I could learn, get some more, something to challenge me, you know, and I've really been looking for a sense of style anyway. So, you know, through sewing these clothes that I had to sew for this particular competition, you know, it kind of helped me find a sense of style and what I liked and what I didn't like. And on top of that, I learned so much. Okay, so what we're going to do is I just kind of want to get into just a couple things that I've done. What I want to kind of turn this video into is a you request of me video, a request video. You know, I want to show you some of the things I've done since we last talked. And I want you to let me know if there's anything you want to see done, any technique that you see. Now, I did kind of experiment with a lot of different things, and I'm going to tell you about that as we get to it. So, let me shut my mouth, and let's get to the first thing. Okay, so before the competition started, I kind of wanted to experiment with border print, and there was no border print around. So, you know, and you know, this is getting to before the competition. So what I decided to do is make my own border print. So I went online to this company called Jet Pro, and I'll put that information below. But the company's name was Jet Pro, and they had some transfer paper because I didn't want this cheap transfer paper if I was going to do a transfer. I didn't want the cheap transfer paper that, you know, we all know the family reunion t-shirts, you know, made from the transfer papers, and then, you know, over time after you wash them a couple times, the family name is half here and half here. That's not what I wanted. All right, I wanted something that was going to be good quality. I wanted something. Reading a couple of reviews online came to my attention, and I decided that I would purchase some transfer paper from them. I kind of had an idea what I wanted to do because I saw this particular dress on Style Pantry, or this skirt on Style Pantry, and it kind of gave me the idea, it did give me the idea, ooh, you know, I was like, okay, well, if that skirt's out there, and this is kind of how I came around with the border print, I figured if that skirt's out there, the fabric for it must be somewhere. Couldn't find it anywhere. Not only that, I couldn't find any border print, period. And the ones that I did find were sold out or discontinued or this and that. So I decided to make my own border print. That's where we are now. I go to this company, Jet Pro. I say, I do the reviews, and everybody is talking about how good they are. So I decided to order some paper. I got it off of eBay. Basically what I had to do was go online, find the actual different monuments that I wanted to do, which were similar to what you see on Style Pantry's dress. Alright, and what I did was found all the ones that I like. Some of them that I put on mine, she didn't have on hers. But I did have like the Eiffel Tower, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the London Bridge. So I found all these different things. I found high quality, of course, resolution prints of them, and I printed them off the way I wanted them on a good printer, which I had in my school, and I used. And I used the heat press at my school, and that's how I came up with this. Alright, so that outfit I wanted to tell you about, kind of leading to the next outfit, because this was the first outfit that I decided to do for the competition. I kind of played around with this print, you know, and how to do it, and I got kind of comfortable with it. So I decided, my husband, well actually I didn't decide, my husband was like, why don't you try doing like a white dress with tulips around the border. It looks like they're growing out of the ground, but you know, growing out the bottom of your dress. So I was like, ah, good idea. So that is how I came up with the idea for my first design for the Rippin' Ain't Easy sewing competition. I loved it. The pattern that I used for this dress was Pat McCall 6953, and basically we were given the pattern, and we were told that we can do any variation of the pattern, but they had to know that it was the pattern, and that's how pretty much most of the, you know, competition went. So I took this dress and I decided to take out the bottom portion, or the bottom two panels that they had, and just make it a high-low, you know, more flirty type high-low dress. Okay, and so what I did to do the same print on the bottom, or to do the same technique on the bottom, is I did that print, I did all the heat pressing and everything before I sewed anything together. So I took into account all my seam allowances. I took into account having to fold the hem so that it didn't cut off any of the bottom. And I did have a learning experience with that on the first one that I did, because you know, I was able to kind of camouflage it and use a couple other different techniques. But I learned, and with this dress, I allowed for all my 5/8 seam allowances everywhere, so you know. Anyway, I love this dress. It turned out really good. I actually won that round of the competition. Yee! Now, before we go on any further, no, I did not win the competition, but I had a really good time doing it. Okay, so that was a technique that I did. Now, like I said, this is a request video. I know when I put this out there, a lot of people wanted to see that technique. I do not have the heat press anymore. However, I do have a very good iron now, so I want to kind of test it anyway to see, you know, if a good iron, for those that don't have a heat press, because most people don't, will work just as good. Alright, so if you'd like to see that, comment below and let me know. Anyway, let's move on. The next outfit that I decided to do was an outfit for a wrap dress, and McCall was actually having a wrap dress sew along around the same time. Actually, I decided a couple of weeks before, but I decided, okay, well, it'll kind of coincide with that, so I'll submit, you know, my pictures for that, or I'll just sew along with them. Alright, so for that particular dress, I used Butterick 5030. Here it is. Alright, I absolutely loved this wrap skirt, and the reason that the reason that I loved this wrap skirt is because, first of all, the print on it was just, it complemented my skin really well, you know, and that is what I'm struggling with, or not really struggling with, but learning as I go what works, what doesn't work. Alright, so I used this one, and it was pretty much, you know, the pattern was very easy to follow. I really liked how it turned out. Alright, so I did that one. Another one that I did for, and I didn't do that one for the sewing competition, but I didn't want to forget that one because I absolutely love that print. Alright, another thing that I kind of experimented in the sewing competition was I sewed my first corset. Alright, and so for one of the submissions, we were given a bottom piece to do. Yes, we were given the bottom piece, but we could create our own top piece. So I decided that I wanted to kind of play around with doing a corset, and I love the way it turned out. Here's that picture. Okay, so for the top, I used Simplicity 1464, and for the bottom, I used Simplicity 1183. Alright, and I really liked both of those patterns. I really liked the corset. What I did with that was I did a lace overlay. Alright, so I started basically with muslin on the bottom, and I found like a cream color so that it didn't offset the lace too much, and then I put the lace on top. It turned out, in my opinion, really good. Liked it. And then on the back, I basically used fabric from the pants so that I made sure that it matched, because I had bought some ribbon, but you know, it didn't quite match. It was like a satin, and it didn't have the same finish, the pants being linen, and so I was like, nah, I don't want to be looking crazy. So anyway, did that one. Really liked that one. Not much to show you guys on that one. You know, if you want to see how to do a lace overlay, you know, what works with lace overlays or whatever, comment below. You know, whatever you want to see while I'm going, whatever kind of technique you want to see that I tell you about while I'm going along, that's what this video is for. Make use of it. The next thing that I did submitted for the competition was McCall pattern 6964 and 6706. This was a franken pattern. Alright, and here it is. And the reason it's a franken pattern is because I used both of those patterns, which the top one was a shirt pattern and the bottom was the skirt that they gave us, and we had to do color blocking for this particular challenge, and this is what I came up with. So I really liked it. It was really cute, really classic, and that is what I like. That's my style. That is what I found during this competition, that I'm more of a classic chick. You know, I like really classic pieces, and pieces that, you know, you just make you look classy and elegant and comfortable at the same time. Okay, does that all make sense? Anyway, that is what I did for that piece. Put those together, franken-pattern. If you'd like to see that, I can show you how to do that. A lot of people did like how it turned out. I liked how it turned out, and it's a dress that I can wear forever. Oh, I put a zipper in the side, all right, to connect the two pieces. Around the same time that I was sewing that for the competition, this was a crazy week because I had to actually do a prom dress for my daughter at the same time. All right, and so needless to say, I had a week of sewing two dresses, one which included laying crystals on the bodice of a dress, and it was my first. We did our Sweet 16, and y'all can go back and look at the video of the series we did on that if you want to, but this was the first actual formal dress I had did, period. So this was the second, well, this was the second one, not the first one. The first one was for Sweet 16. This was the second one for prom fitting. So, but it was on the same week as the competition. So I always do myself like that, you know, but it ended up being okay. Here's her dress. I just give you a minute to look at it because, you know, it's just gorgeous. Okay, and the pattern that I used for it was Vogue 2962. Alright, and like I said, I had to go to the store and buy from Joann's. I bought a crystal laying heat gun, and it came with a lot of different flat heat pieces, and you found the one that matched the size crystal that you were using, and I had to buy hot fix crystals. I got them offline. I bought a bunch of them, different sizes, and I basically just decided to lay the bodice. Alright, we got the fabric from Fine Fabrics in Georgia. Most of my fabrics in the previous ones I've shown you I got from here local at Joann's. But this one I got from Fine Fabrics in Norcross, Georgia, and it was this iridescent. It has this iridescent sheen to it that's just, you know, I loved it anyway without even putting the crystals on it, but once we put the crystals on it, it was gorgeous. Alright, so she loved it. We took great pictures. I'm flashing through a couple pictures here so you can see the dress. Let's move on. Love you. Alright, the next thing that I had to do for the competition, we had to work with gingham print. Now, unfortunately, this was my last submission in the competition, but again, I learned so much from this competition that, you know, it was just an honor to be in it and be a part of it, be a part of the wonderful girls that I was sewing along with, the ladies I was sewing along with, and I learned a lot. So for this we had to do gingham print. There wasn't an abundance of gingham print here locally, but, and I knew I needed time for what I was going to make, so I decided that I was going to kind of go classic and a little vintage and a little Rihanna. So I saw this particular dress and or suit that she wore, and I can't remember what she wore it to. No, can't remember. But I love the gingham print on it, and you honestly could barely tell that it was gingham print, and it was pink, and even though I don't like pink, I loved it. Alright, so I decided to make a version of it, but in a pantsuit. So the pattern that I used for it was New Look 6231. I used both the pants and the top for that. I used View A and D. Alright, and what I did was I changed up the bottom portion of the coat, and I added more of a peplum bottom so it draped, and up underneath it I lined it with a gray cotton fabric that I found to kind of offset the pink, and I love the way that it looked. You know, so it turned out really, really good in my opinion. I really, really liked it. I took a classic look from Rihanna and turned it into, you know, my version of what I liked from it. And there it is. Alright, so the last one that, or the last few that I tell you about, they were after the competition, and it was around Mother's Day. I decided, a lady from So Sweetness asked me to do a guest post with her, and I actually was sewing these two outfits while I was sewing the gingham print outfit for the competition, and it was for me and my daughter, so it was due like a day apart, and I had turned in one day and one the other day. But I did a guest post on her site, and what I decided to do, since it was around Mother's Day, was do more of a bohemian chic type look with my daughter and myself. So I made these bohemian, what I called bohemian chic dresses and with lace, and they were super beautiful. And the fabric that I used was called gauze, and I remember using or wearing this in different outfits as a kid, but when I saw it in the magazine, I love the look that inspired me to do this for me and my daughter, but I didn't know what type of fabric it was. So I went to this older lady that works at my school, and she's a seamstress, and she was able to tell me right away what it was. Okay, so if you have someone in your life that is, you know, an older seamstress or has been around for a long time, use up all the knowledge that you can, because it is invaluable. Alright, so she helped me with that. We did this, and the pattern that I used for it was Simplicity 1161. And I made it a little bit longer. I added lace to the bottom of mine. I didn't add it to my daughter's at the bottom, but I did add lace around the shirt part of it. So, you know, I loved how it turned out. It was really pretty. That was it. And then the last one that I'm going to tell you about before I end this and let you tell me what you want to see below, or what you want me to do a tutorial on below, is I want to tell you about this one. Now, this one was inspired because I just kind of wanted to do something fun. You know, I really didn't have the idea in mind of how many times I was going to wear this outfit, or whether or not. I just wanted to be artistic. Alright, so what I decided to do was do more of a dress that kind of came about as I was doing it. I used fabric paint to, well, first what I did was draw out the face that I wanted. And I decided to do this Afro chick girl with this huge pretty blue bow flower in her hair. And I used these bright colors, and what I did, I kind of played around with whether I wanted to use chiffon or whether I wanted to use more of a, can't think of the other, crepe. Alright, and so chiffon was a bit too thin for me. So I decided to use crepe, plus I had a little bit more choice of colors with crepe. And so I based the colors in the bodice that I used and that I painted on the colors that I found of crepe. And so I picked these different colors, and what I wanted to go on the bottoms, I kind of wanted to flow with the wind type look. But I also wanted to be almost like a kaleidoscope of colors at the bottom. And I kind of decided with that to make different panels out of the crepe, and stack those patterns basically on top of each other and alternating, so no matter how you swung or how you moved, the dress looked different. Alright, and I really love the looks that I came up with. Alright, so for the top bodice piece, I used a Mimi G pattern. For Simplicity 1159, I used the top portion because I really liked how the back was open and it had the piece that hung down. And I painted everything on the front and let it dry, and then I had to actually use an iron to heat set the paint. The paint that I used was an acrylic and a textile medium, and I had to mix 2 parts paint to 1 part of it. And that's what I did, and mixed it up really good so it wasn't watery, and painted. And it's supposed, I haven't washed it yet, but it's supposed to be washable. And when it dried, it did not dry really hard. It dried flexible, and I can stretch it and pull it, and that's it. I really liked it. It was something fun to do, you know. I don't know what I'll ever go to that I'll ever need to wear this dress again. But you best believe that if I need to wear it, I'll wear it. Okay, so that's it. That's where we've been going. That's what I've been doing for the past couple of months. And now I'm back to you guys. Alright, so over the next couple of weeks, months, I'm going to be putting out several DIYs. What I really want to do with you guys is a essential pieces DIY, where we kind of go through all the essential pieces of your wardrobe and make some. Okay, but right now, the first thing that I want to, I tell you what, watch the next video and you'll see. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe. I'm back, guys, and anything you want to see, please request. If I can do it, I will do it. Let's have fun, let's create, and I'll talk to you soon. Watch my next video.